The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Today, we embark on a journey of completing what we started, the discussion about solar energy. And remember, over the years, solar has been considered as an optional way of living. But you know what? This form of energy has gotten its huge grip in the market, and somehow it's becoming the mainstream source of energy. It is also important for us to understand that solar energy leads you to saving, and experts say it is up to 80% of saving. How? It is through what we shall be discussing today when we understand how to install, how to size, and how to use this energy. Join me as we do this. Yes, finally we're here at this very place. It's a residential place, and we're here just to confirm what we've been saying about solar energy. Remember, solar is one of the dynamics and one of the ways that the power systems are taking. So what you're gonna do is just to be keen, follow step by step, because by the end of this show, you'll be able to understand how you can install your whole place with power, or rather with solar power energy. And I'm not alone, as I've said. I'm joined by an expert who is installing the whole of this place with the solar energy. So karibu sana. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Yes. Patrick.
Yes.
Good to see you and to have you on this show.
Yeah.
Yes, most welcome. And I believe you have done much when it comes to solar energy. I want you to say hi to our viewers, and then you take us step by step, such that someone who has zero idea will come to understand what is solar energy.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Right.
So my name is Patrick Mahinda from SIGNET Solar Energy. And when you talk of solar, basically it's energy from the sun. That's what we are talking about, solar. So we have different forms of energy. We can use solar for water heating. We can use solar for lighting, for domestic use. Yeah, the topic of solar is so broad.
Thank you very much. And you there, I want you to be keen. Take a notebook, take somewhere a writing pad whereby you can note these pointers, because Patrick will be telling us from where we are standing, because this is a whole homestead powered by solar. You can do without the grid power. And what I want you to do is just to follow us, because he's taking us from installation all the way to that time when I'm using that power. And you'll also be telling us, in case I have excess, how do I dispose the excess power or the energy from solar? And now maybe in a nutshell, tell us, how do you install solar? Where do we begin?
Okay, so for solar installation, you basically begin with the sizing or doing the load for your house, for your business, your industry, all that. So the first step we do, we come to your home. If you have a home, we can do the load analysis, ask you maybe what you want to be powered with solar. Right now we have solar that's powering everything, starting from cooking, using your cooker. You can use your iron box, the water heating in your house. So basically solar at the moment, you can use it for a lot of function in your house. So basically we come, we do the load, or also we can do a meter. The meter, basically we are doing it to know how many units you're using per day, to be able to enable us to size a good solar for your home, because we have experienced problems in the past whereby you have people sizing, not knowing what they are sizing. So you find you have a system but it's not helping you. So at the moment where we start from, we do the load analysis. After the load analysis, we come to the system design, whereby we ask ourselves, with your home, what number of panels we'll use for your home, what batteries we'll use for your home, the size of the inverter. That's the question that we'll ask ourselves next. After that, now we come to the step whereby we come do a site survey to establish the location for your panels. Will it be a roof mounted, a ground mounted, or what kind of system you'll suit the installation for your home. Lastly, after that, now our team will come to the ground, do the installation for you, make sure everything is perfect. After the installation, we do customer training, sensitization on how to use the system, just to enable you to have power that is sufficient for you, and to also to have the know-how for you on how to use it.
Exactly. Yes, excellent. And I believe you're getting these pointers. And Patrick, I think this is very enlightful, and I want to thank you for one thing. You do the sizing as per the need. So when we talk about, what factors do you consider when you talk about sizing? Because let's say maybe I have my house and you're coming to size. What is it that you consider for you to say, I need this kind of load?
Okay, so the first thing we look at the particular appliances you're using for your house, be it our iron box, the lighting, the freezer, the fridge, and we ask about the question we ask ourselves is how many numbers of these appliances you have. This will enable us to know the total energy you'll be needing for a particular day, you see. So because we want to give you a system whereby it will meet all your energy demand for your home. We don't want a system whereby we have said using one light and you have 5 lights. So we give you a system for one light and you're not able to use the system
and maybe
optimally.
Before Patrick, we leave the issue of loading, because I believe this is the whole issue anyway, is the determining factor on what I'm going to install in my space. Maybe you can tell us. I know with oversizing may not be an issue because you'll have extra power, but what happens with undersizing? Undersizing is a very critical issue because with an undersized system, the client will not be able to reap the benefit of the system 100%. You'll find yourself in a blackout at 8 p.m. during the night, and you wanted a system that will last you until morning, you see. So undersizing is a very critical factor that is affecting most of the system. So in all system, we want to make sure that we have not undersized anything in your house to enable you to maximize on the energy from the sun. Remember, we want to maximize on all the energy that we can get from the sun, and also we want you to reap the benefits from it 100%. All right. And some people will talk about now shifting from the grid power into now this, we call it ungrid or non-grid. I don't know, the solar energy. Maybe you can highlight before we dig deep into how we're going about all installation, because that's why we're here. The very benefit one could reap from shifting, or rather using the solar powered energy.
Okay. One of the major benefits that you'll reap is reduced cost, because you see it's free energy. Once you undergo the initial cost of investment, the return on investment is within a short period of time. So for a lifetime of about 10 to 15 years, you'll be using free energy for your home. That's number one. Secondly, you are helping in reducing the use of the non-renewable source of energy. So you are helping us to go green. In the long run, we are able to reduce the carbon emissions into the environment and many other things that are associated with environmental pollution.
And maybe having talked about maybe the carbon emission and saving on cost, I'd like you to tell us, somebody will say, I pay my electricity, the grid power in these phases. And how is it when it comes to cost implication of installing before maybe we go to installation?
We say for a solar system, the initial cost of investment, it's high. But after a period of 1 to 2 years, you'll be reaping free from the system. So you find, unlike the grid power, whereby you'll be needed to pay monthly bills of maybe 10,000 per month, 10,000 per month. With solar, you'll do one investment, then enjoy free energy for the rest of the time, as compared to grid power.
Now, that's interesting, and I wish you know this, that we are talking about a saving for a long time. What you would have used maybe for to install the whole system can take your power for 2 years, but from there, then remember we are talking about lifetime investment, whereby after 2 years you will be using your energy, your power for free. And thank you so much, Patrick, for this insight. But maybe you can tell us, when you talk about this installation and all this, is it wholly dependent on the location in terms of geographical locations?
So no, it doesn't entirely depend on the geographical location. Actually, you see with solar, there's this notion about that when there's no sun, we will not have energy from the panels. But you see with the current technology that we are having, the solar system, panels are generating, be it there's sun or there's no sun. So you don't have to worry that I'm in an area whereby the sun will keep fluctuating from time to time. So what we do in our side, we usually ensure we have a good oversize factor for you, whereby you'll have a system that even when it's cloudy or when there's no sun, it's a bad month like July, there's still power from your solar system to ensure that you don't face the problem of no sun or such problems.
Do the infrastructure affect or influence what you decide when it comes to sizing?
The infrastructure will influence how you treat your solar installation. Basically, we want to achieve a tilt angle. The tilt angle is an angle that the panels will be facing the sun. So for a flat roof, you need to modify your structure, maybe put up some other structures to enable us to achieve a 15 degrees tilt angle to ensure that you reap 100% from the sun. So assuming you're using this normal roofing, the normal roofing that we majority of us have, that one it's perfect for an installation. So you'll find the costing for that system will be a bit cheaper compared to the other structures.
Right.
But so the structure will affect how you treat your installation.
So basically what you need to find on location is a 15-degree inclination. And in this incline, does it mean if I go to 30 degrees or more than that, it's better? All you have limits from 15 to what degrees?
Yeah, so from 15 to a maximum of around 45 degrees. Yeah, but the best one is 15 degrees.
And maybe you can tell us, is there need to involve you at the point of construction, or you're okay, you come and modify what is in existence?
We're okay to come and modify what is in existence. That way you are able to build according to a specification. Then for us, we'll just come and advise on what to change for the specific panels.
And can we handle that at construction stage?
Actually, that's very possible, and we can still do that. Actually, that one is the best for us to come in at the construction phase. That we'll be able to advise on the location of the panels, maybe the location of the batteries and the inverters. That way, when you're building, you know this room is specifically meant for your solar system.
Thank you. And I believe you're getting better and better, because they say sun at work. And indeed where I am, I'm under sunlight. And therefore it means whatever is on me can be converted into saving my bills by 50% and eventually by 80%. Is what the research says. Don't go away, because after this short break, Patrick is here now to tell us that this, after installation, this is what you need and this is how it works. Yes, welcome back. This is a Realtor, and remember today we are talking about solar energy. And because we have done some background before, today we are on site explaining to you how it works, how you can incline your roofing and your spaces to fit solar installation, and more so, now we are diving into storage. What is this that we are calling power storage? And solar cannot do without storage, and if it can, we'll be told to what extent. And we are with Patrick of Sitec Solar, and Patrick, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking us through so systematically. Now, if you're talking about storage, what is this we are storing, and for what reason?
Okay, so when you talk about storage, remember we're using energy from the sun, and you know sun will provide us energy during the day mostly. So the panels needs a system whereby once we produce the energy, we'll store the energy in some sort of, it's like you have a tank, you're harvesting rainwater. So the batteries are just a form of harvesting the energy from the sun. So that during the night or during a very cloudy day, you will have some energy from the battery banks for you to use in your house or in your business. So battery are basically storage. Whatever
we have talked about from introduction, is it the same procedure for industrial installation?
Yeah, so for most industries, we have a different form of system, whereby we call it a grid-tied system. So for a grid-tied system, it's basically, there are no battery banks for the grid-tied system. Unlike a home whereby it's a hybrid system, the grid-tied system only uses the sun directly, then it uses Kenya Power as a backup to help the industry in saving on the cost during the day only. But for home system, it's basically a different way, because you want energy for your light during the night and for the system during the night.
So now take us to this storage that you're talking about. What size of batteries, and where do we store them, and how do we interconnect the whole system from the panel now to your storage?
Okay, so when you talk about batteries, we have different forms of batteries. We have the lead acid batteries, we have the lithium batteries, and other forms of batteries. So what determines the storage capacity for your house, it's basically the energy demand during the night. So if you have an energy demand of around 10 units, when I talk about units, it's basically the tokens you buy from Kenya Power, for example. So if you're using 10 units a night, we'll provide you with at least 2 lithium batteries, a 5 kilowatt-hour battery, so for you to have the 10 units. So what determines the size of the battery bank is basically your energy consumption during the night. If you have a high energy consumption, then it means you'll need more battery storage. But you can also use a little battery storage, but you also incorporate grid power to act as a hybrid system.
And all this is determined during sizing?
Yeah, during sizing.
And now let's say we have the space, we have the batteries in place, we have the panels installed at a degree of 15 degrees, right? You say that's the best.
Yeah.
What next to someone who has just installed solar?
So what next? What follows after we have all the system in place? Now it's upon us to come to you to train you on how the various ways you'll use the power. Remember, this is solar energy, so you don't want a scenario whereby you're using the wrong equipment at the wrong time. Maybe we have set your system to allow you to use iron box during the day, and then you end up using during the night. So you'll come to the customer, do a system training, educate him on all the know-hows that he needs to know about the system, to just enable him to use the power without any hiccups or whatsoever.
We talked about when you have undersized and the dangers of that, because you'll have a blackout at midnight or thereabout. Now you can mention, because we skipped that, the dangers of, or rather the implications of oversizing.
So the implication of oversizing, one is that you'll have undergone a high cost of investment, and you'll have idle power that you'll not use for your home. So you'll have used so much money at the beginning, and you'll not be able to use all the energy by yourself. So that's the major implication of oversizing. But typically, that will not impact you negatively as per se, because you see you'll have more power for your homes. It's only that you'll not be able to use it.
And is it possible for this person now to come and say, hi Setek, come back, I think we have we oversized, and come, distribute that power elsewhere?
Yeah, so at the moment, there are policies being drafted to enable us to sell the excess power that you have in our house back to Kenya Power. So once the policies are put in place, once you are producing power and you have excess of it, now you can sell it back to the Kenya Power. That will enable you to save also on the electricity bills. Maybe if you are using, after installation, you're using 30,000 and you have excess power, once you sell back, you see the bill will come back down, because you are selling and buying at the same time.
Now, Patrick, tell us, other than the carbon emission, solving the issue of carbon emission and the pollution at the same time, what other environmental benefits do we have coming from solar energy?
So one of the environmental benefits that we have from solar energy is the reduction in the use of non-renewable sources of energy. We are talking about petrol, kerosene, coal. You see, in the past, we used to produce an energy from burning of coal. So once we incorporate solar, we are doing away with those forms of energy. Therefore, we are ensuring that our environment remains as it should, making sure that we are not depleting any of our resources that we have at our disposal.
And do you think the government is doing enough to make sure that, one, the public is sensitized, there is awareness, and number two, they are also coming to your aid to help you at least do this with ease when it comes to policies?
I believe the government is trying. First, because there are tax incentives when we are talking about solar. We also have grants from the government to enable us to push more on the renewable energy sector more. So, but I believe the government can also do more. They can also train the public on the benefits that we'll have when you have solar installed in our homes.
And even before we go to the government and sensitization from the same, a Realtor is here on TV47 just to make sure that we bring you this news, we bring you this information, because as usual, we say information is power, and I believe we are leaving this show empowered and knowing that as we are here, our whole homestead without grid power, in other words, without steam. We are talking about solar energy powered from the house into the farms and a borehole. And this is where I'm headed, plus the water heating systems. Mention something about water heating system, and then we shall go to borehole powering through solar.
Okay, so for water heating systems,
what do we need?
Basically, you need a storage once the water is heated, and maybe now the form of heating, which is a flat plate or the tube system. So what happens, the flat plate will gather the heat from the sun, take it to the collectors. Once they are in the collectors, heat is dissipated because we have carbon rods that are in there to heat the water that is circulating in the system. So the water basically will be circulating from the tank to the collectors, then back to the tank. So you are sure that once the sun is present, there's a lot of heat being generated, and your hot is becoming hot. And once you come back in the evening after work, you have hot water to enjoy for yourself. Yes.
And is there a difference between the flat one and the tubes one?
Basically, it's different. For a flat plate, from the outlook, it looks like a normal panel. And for the tube, there are tubes, the long tubes. And the tubes are more efficient in terms of the heating capacity as compared to the flat plates. But the flat plates are also more durable as compared to the tubes. But both, they work typically the same. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, for those who may be hearing about the water heating system for the first time, what you need is just that system and then pipe it to your bathroom.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So once you have the system, people will usually do double piping. One pipe will have the cold water and one the hot water. And now a mixer just to mix the two waters. Or also you can use a circulator pump whereby it will be mixing the water for you. Then you have one tap delivering it to your bathroom, to your kitchen, to your under sinks, and anywhere that you need hot water.
And on installation, we talk about the same inclination angle, or you had it different.
Yeah, so the inclination angle will still remain. You see, for the inclination, it's basically one, to help in the harnessing of much of the power from the sun, and two, to ensure that the panels are self-cleaning. What do you mean by that? We mean that once it rains, the dust accumulated will be able to be washed away without you necessarily coming to clean it for yourself. So the inclination angle serves basically the two purposes.
For you, you've had it right from an expert. He's an engineer doing all this, and what you need to understand is that a water heating system has no complications. Once installed, provided you have the best of quality, then you go down and enjoy your heated water. Now, before we talk about terminating this show, I want you to tell us about the borehole. How do you go about the borehole? Is it the same system, or you handle it differently? In a minute.
Okay, so for a borehole, we can handle it in two ways. One, we have an inverter whereby it will be operating only during the day, whereby we have sun and the inverter and the pump. So the sun will come, will generate energy to the inverter. The inverter will convert the DC energy to an AC energy. That's called current. Then take it to the pump. So you'll be able to pump during the day only. And also you can use a normal inverter, basically the low frequency inverter, transformer-based inverters, whereby once we have the inverter in place, we can also incorporate storage to enable you to pump also during the night for some specified number of hours during the night. So you can have the two operatives when dealing with water pumping system. Okay.
Yeah, so that's not the system. What about the panels? Panels is the same normal?
So yeah, the panels, they are just the normal panels that you use for your home, but now we might use small panels just to enable us to achieve a higher voltage.
How do you size it? How do you size what to put up there?
So first we start with knowing the pump size that you have. Once we know the pump size, we'll be able now to calculate the size of the inverter that you need. Now from the inverter, it has some parameters that need to be achieved for it to pump water using the pump. That's now where we set the panels. So there's something called the voltages. So we need to make sure that we have achieved the right voltages required for the pump to operate. So once we have the voltage from the inverter, we'll know now the number of panels to put in series. I'm sure you've done some bit of physics. So the series connection is one panel to another to achieve a higher voltage. So that's how we size the panels, the inverter, and the pump.
Thank you. I know we are cutting you short, but it is interesting that we are able to understand how to go through this process of solar installation and sizing installation, and even how to use from the household into water heating systems, and finally the boreholes. All these under one roof and powered by solar. If you have any question, we have our social media handles, TV47 Kenya. We also have the Realtor TV47, and if you so wish, Robert Dong on Facebook. All these handles will be directing your questions to him, Patrick, and he will come to your aid. Thank you so much for keeping it the Realtor. Thank you, Patrick, for having us and even bringing us here where you are doing it. And until next time, God bless you.